Menteri rang ba ka jylla ha bakaran kinong tho khobor hadin ka kabinet ulaong ba kisngau ba ka long ka babyang man pynlong ya ka kabinet Nan Polok namar ba kani ka jaka kadai ka jaka ka ba ki program ka ba pher kum ka literary festival bat ki wei ki ju pynlong menteri rang ba ulaong ba ka kanhun menteri kalaya kren habun teli kimat kum ba phitep shibun ki scheme sorkar kum kjing pen poi boarding ha ki yeng kisam bad ya kane la shim kat kum ka census hajar khatwei bad shibun ki yeng ki bom shimlap kentoblang ha kane ka scheme bad nagleng jok sorkar kalai kren ka sorkar India bad kentoblang ya kine ki yeng bad kishnong bad kum joro ka sorkar India kala mynjur bad mang pisa na ka benta kane Shusuk sorkar kalai keren ru halor ke jingtiet jaka ban penhe ika airport sorkar kala menjuru ban tiet jaka na ka benta ka kam jungo kai pertai hajongsha bat hikiwei pat ki jaka ban shna ya ka hotel bat kiwei ki jindon kam na ka benta ki kam jungo kai pertai
under the RDSS, which is a revamped distribution sector scheme. As you're aware that in the past there were different government schemes under which different households and villages were electrified. But all of this electrification and that happened was based on the certain lists and census that was there, which was very old, 2011. And hence there was a need and there were a lot of houses and villages which were not included. So as per the list, of course, the villages were covered. But then the new villages which came out, the new houses that came out, some of them were left out. And therefore, I had approached Government of India in the year 2022 that those villages and houses which were left out and were not part of that census at that point in time be included. And I'm happy to inform you that Government of India has agreed to it. And a sanction of close to about 500 crores has been made to include the list as per the list which was submitted at that point in time. The third was the purchase of land for exchange with defense land for the expansion of the Shillong airport. This aspect has also been taken up today, and we have given formal approval to go ahead for this because it is required for the expansion of the airport, Shillong airport, so that larger flights can land. And as you know, the tender is already under process, and therefore we felt that whatever deeper consultation that needs to be done with local community and the local headmen, we have requested and designated Deputy Chief Minister in charge transportation to take the discussions further so that the smooth exchange of land and purchase of land can take place. But in principle, approval has been given by the cabinet to go ahead. Number 4 was the proposal for standardization of supervision and establishment charges for utility shifting works in road development projects implemented by NHIDCL. As you're aware that these utility shiftings have to be done all the time, but the charges which are to be charged by the agencies that do the shifting, sometimes the charges differ. Sometimes somebody's or some agencies charge much higher. Sometimes it's a bit too much. So therefore, we felt that it's a strong need to have a standard charge. So therefore, there was an amount that the percentage would be limited to 2.5% of the project would be the limit in terms of the charges that an agency can charge for utility shifting when the related to works of road development implemented by NHIDCL. Number 5 was again a purchase of land for development of tourism for a PPP project in Jongsha area. As you're aware that government has now maximized its land holdings, whether it's the Tura Orchid land, which has again been finalized for a PPP project, where a private hotel is going to set up and invest in a 5-star hotel, whether it's the lands we have in Sora, whether it's the lands that we had in Shillong, and so on and so forth. This I mean by government land, so mostly by MTDC. So almost all the areas where we had land where we could upgrade into uh, private public partnership project where we could get large hotels, luxury hotels to come and invest. We have exhausted most of the land, and there are many important areas like the Laiklum, the Nongjrong, and this entire Sintum, and this whole belt of Jongsha. This area is, of course, a very popular tourist destination, and we strongly felt that there was a need to have a good resort and a five-star hotel resort in that area, and hence there was a need for government to procure land, and this land has been purchased, and government has agreed, cabinet has agreed to go ahead. Proper procedures, of course, have been followed in every sense, where expression of interests were floated, people participated, a committee was set up, and based on that, discussions, negotiations, and final proposal was put in front of the cabinet, which was approved today. The agenda for the settlement of the GAD land under Tura town area, West Karo Hills. As you are aware, there are many localities where there are government offices, rather government land, which have been encroached by individuals and public at large in the past 30, 40, 50 years. And in many cases, there have been a lot of court cases going on, and at different times, there have been eviction notices being given, which has caused a lot of inconvenience and at times law and order situation. And hence, in line with the same policy which we adopted for William Nagar about 2 to 3 years back, the cabinet today has approved the proposal from GAD to go for settlement of these encroached land. So this will be leased out in a long-term lease to the people who are staying in that land. The land will be revenue land, but as I said, lease pata, long-term lease will be given to these individuals. There are criteria that will be followed, and based on those criteria, now as I said, it will be regularized in one way. Settlement will be done so that in the future there is no more complication and no more situations that the government or the public has to face. As I said, these people have been in that land for a long time, and the only practical way for us to move forward in this was to go for the settlement so that we can actually see these kind of long problems being settled once and for all. So we're very happy that this is being done, and the first phase is being started. There are certain localities who have not agreed and are still have differences with the revenue department and with the government. We are not forcing those localities, but the localities which have agreed, where the surveys have been done, digital maps have been created, the drone surveys have been done, all the necessary exercise has been done, public hearing has been done. For the last 2 years, this exercise has been going on. So the localities which have agreed, in principle, we have now decided to go ahead with those. And in the second phase, we will continue our discussion with the other localities which have not agreed till now. So this was a very important decision from Tura town point of view, and this has been something that I have been personally talking about because this happens to be also my constituency, and I know the problems firsthand, and I've been engaging with the public at large, and I'm very happy that this is something that now we've been able to settle. The next was the proposal, if you remember, in 2016-17, when North Garo Hills district was formed, there was a proposal and funds were released by government then to buy land banks, and amount of 5 crores was given to all the newly carved out districts to buy land for the government land bank. That money has been there with the different districts, and in North Garo Hills, the DC has done his exercise and has gone ahead with the purchase of land. And as I said, this is an old proposal of 2016. It's just that we are now giving the approval to go ahead. Money has already been given in 2016. The money has been lying with the DC since then. But the purchase was done now only. And now we have gone ahead and given the approval for the purchase of the land bank for administrative setup in terms of the district in North Karo Hills. The amount about 5 crores was sanctioned at that point in time. And within that amount, this particular land has been bought. The next one is the acquisition again of land in the Maukunu area. As you are aware that when we had gone ahead with the purchase of Maukunu, new Shillong Township area, there were paddy fields around in different locations. And at that point in time, the paddy field, the farmers had not agreed to give the land. But then now that the construction and the work and large projects are going forward, the discussion continued with the farmers, and the farmers have now 17 farmers were there. They have all agreed to directly now sell the land to the government because they are seeing the large projects that are happening out there. And after the discussion, they have agreed to the sale, and today the cabinet has approved the sale of these paddy fields that are there in patches in the Maukunu, New Shillong Township area. Next is the Meghalaya Logistics Connectivity Improvement Project, which is the second phase of the World Bank project, which is earlier called the MITP and now is being called the MLCIP. This was obviously approved quite some time back, about a year back, and the necessary discussions, negotiations with World Bank had started. And based on that, basically the DPRs have been made, and now the department has planning department has come for the cabinet approval to finally go ahead with this particular arrangement with the World Bank. The total amount is about $300 million, and as you're aware, out of the $300 million, 2080 is the amount that is there, where 20% is the share of the state government, which we have to bear the expenditure. That is coming to about $60 million. The rest of the $240 million is the loan component. Out of the $240 million of the loan component, 90% of that loan component is repaid by Government of India, and 10% has to be paid by Government of Meghalaya. So hence, out of the $240 million of loan component, $260 million is paid or repaid back by Government of India, and we have to only bear the expenditure of $24 million in terms of the loan component. So that's the arrangement, and we have, as I said, today approved to go ahead with this World Bank project. The total cost in rupees will come up to about 2,450 crores in terms of the total number of amount of money being sanctioned for these road projects and logistical setups. Approved the procurement of land in Umden area, which again is an area which is developing as a tourist destination. We have sanctioned 50 crores for the road to be constructed towards Umden from Nongpo, and Umden is a silk kind of a village area where a lot of tourists are going. And again, there's been a huge demand by the local people that government should set up some kind of a tourist area, lodges and stay areas. So in order to fulfill that, we have again gone ahead and agreed based on the proposal given by the department for the government to buy land out there. Next, we have also approved the internal revenue generation scheme for engineering colleges and polytechnics. As you're aware that these are all technical institutes, and today government of Meghalaya spends money and resources to get the different architectural designs to be vetted, or consultancy to be done, or different kind of studies to be done by IITs, IIMs, and so on and so forth. We strongly felt that we have got our own institutes like the Shillong Engineering College, the polytechniques, and these also can be utilized for the same purpose, which would ensure that our faculty and our students are also kept engaged, and they also earn revenue by doing that. So today we have approved the proposal for an internal revenue generation scheme, which will allow the engineering colleges, or at least the engineering college that we have, and the polytechnics to take up these kind of different activities which were earlier being taken up by IIT. It's not that we will not engage IIT. It depends on the project to project basis. So depending on the project and the need, we will see the agency. But earlier, the engineering college and polytechnic could not take it up, even if they had the capacity to take up that project. But now this scheme will allow them to do that. The next was a proposal to establish the Park University in North Karo Hills in Meghalaya. This is a private university, so it's an ordinance, and the promoters have been working with the department. Department has been scrutinizing the proposal and the bill. It has been sent to the board of the private university board, as well as the legal department, education department have scrutinized the background of the promoters, the entire capacity of the concerned individuals who are going forward in this. And obviously, as you know, the new Private University Act, which was amended, which has been really, as I said, the act has been strengthened. Those will apply, and therefore we expect that all the possible scrutinies that are needed to ensure that proper monitoring of this university and other private universities are done will be also effective for the Park University. So, keeping all of those aspects in mind, today the cabinet has given its approval for the ordinance of establishment of the Park University, private university in Resubelpara, North Karo Hills. The proposal to amend Section 44 of the Meghalaya Value Added Tax 2003 for substitution of the term bonded warehouse with central bonded warehouse. Basically, in simple terms, the VAT collection in terms of revenue was earlier done at the bond level. And as you're aware, that even the ad valorem was collected by the bond level. But now we had decided earlier that the ad valorem will be paid by the central bond. And that has in fact ensured that our overall revenue has gone up. Now, similarly, the VAT was collected by the bond at the bond level. We have now amended by this amendment today that the VAT will be now collected at the central warehouse, bonded warehouse level, which means now at only one point will be collected, which will ensure again that the leakages, if any, are cut, and the revenue that comes in one go, and it will obviously increase the overall revenues as well as the time that it takes to collect, and there will be lesser scope for any of the bonds or anybody to have any kind of flexibility. Hence, we expect that the revenue of the state will go up by quite a large amount with this very small but very significant decision that we made. The last but not the least was the amendment to the Meghalaya Industrial Investment Promotion Policy. These are basic investments just to streamline and to make things more simpler for our different agencies, different organizations. For example, earlier the definition of micro enterprises was limited or was at amount of 50 lakhs investment. We realized that micro organizations are more local, so therefore we cannot have 50 lakhs. So we've reduced that to 10 lakhs, so that more people can get the benefit, and obviously most of them are local people, and hence we have changed those terms. There was a discontinuity in terms of the old industrial policy, the new Unnati policy, and now the new MIPA policy, because the old industrial policy ended in about 22 or 21, 22, and hence there was a period of a 1 year gap. We felt that in terms of the continuity that we require, so that investors' confidence is there and the continuity in investment is there, and those who did invest during that time also don't lose out. We decided that there will be a continuity, and even those who put up units earlier will also get the benefit of the investments and in terms of the subsidies that we have been given. So like that, there were basic amendments that were made. in order to just streamline and bring our policy at line or at par with what is happening in the rest of the country, as well as what's happening in especially the northeastern states. So these were the main decisions that were made. If you have any questions.